I feel my way through. Sometimes I can't think my way through, but my eyes are closed, but I'm going to have to just feel my way through. And I think somebody said, the card said that I think, therefore I am. The African men say, I feel, therefore I am. If I can't feel it, ain't true. Whatever you do, if I can't feel you, you ain't there. So I gotta feel, and I think there's value to living and leaning into our feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes whenever we talk about feeling, people see negative feeling.
Mm-hmm.
They don't see positive,
Sure.
which is sad, because but that's important. I gotta feel it, and that's good. You gotta feel the vibration on your chest, as somebody says it. I think that's you. Every time you gotta feel, you sing, you see the vibration. That's you feeling the music. I can see when I tune in, you singing, you are really eating that song because you feeling. And I think our character, there's something about who we are that we the seed of who we are that we sow to the world to being our feeling self. We buy by feeling. We do everything by feeling. And I think we might as well just learn to live and understand the power of feeling in our lives, and manage ourselves accordingly. So we said thinking was important. That's the mind. Now we just say feeling is important. That's the heart. You see, and I think for many people that's really, 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 really good. So, but that's not all that there is to us. So take a guess. What else is there?
Well, besides feeling and thinking, you're saying, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So besides feeling and thinking, there are our sensations that we take in from our external world.
I'm
What we
taking notes.
feel with our fingertips, what we see with our eyes, what we smell with our nose, what we taste with our mouth.
Hmm. Wow. That is powerful. So maybe what you're trying to say is that there is another part of us that is so central. That's the body.
Yes.
So and that's important. About physical reality, our biology, our body, and there's something about showing up, about taking care of your body. So to have a holistic life, to live holistically, we got to actually recognize that we are body, that is, we are a mind that think, and a heart that feel, and fourth, a spirit which is inside us. That's the seat of conscience, right? Now,
Okay.
the,
Okay. So
yeah,
go ahead. Unpack that a little bit for me.
no, no, no,
I don't
so
think I quite
because
get it.
our whole life, so a fragmented person has at the core of their being, they have ego,
Yes.
right? Ego dominate, but a whole person has conscience at the center of their selves. You
Mm-hmm.
see? And I think there is something powerful that many people have really expressed. Kavi share a lot about that in the Seven Habit. He goes and elaborate a lot more on it. And I, I really think we need to once more, as we're talking about whole brain thinking, that again is just a reminder about a holistic way of seeing life from the inside out. So that means do according to your conscience. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Many people are struggling because they are violating their conscience. When you
Mm-hmm.
live it in that way and your conscience is violated, then you are not healthy. It affects your thinking, it affects your feeling, your emotion, and it affects your body, right? So
Yes.
there's something so powerful about whole like a whole life or holistic being, and that is living with these four key things at the center of your life: your body, your mind, your heart, your soul, spirit, and to be driven not by ego, but by conscious. What are you thinking?
I think that's a beautiful way of saying it. Matter of fact, ego is really a block to your spirit or your soul, right? It's a barrier you put up which disconnects you from yourself and disconnects you from other people. You
Mm.
can't be as empathetic. You can't be there with that other person as if you have your ego is getting in the way of that, right? You can't
Yes.
fully have that experience if your ego is in the way. If your ego is saying, don't say something stupid, oh, don't be weak, don't cry, don't, right? If your ego is trying to tell you all these things, it is a barrier to a connection.
Yeah. And wherever there is ego, wherever ego is present, we have a fragmented being.
Yeah. Yep.
That we are fragmented, and fragmentation can manifest in many ways. That we live from the outside in. A person that is fragmented they have a self-esteem problem. They have
Mm-hmm.
a me problem. They don't think they're the best version of themselves. They
Mm-hmm.
don't think they deserve being treated rightly. They don't think that way. And so what they do, they take like they deconstruct themselves, and they are fragmented. They're ill. They
Mm-hmm.
really need repair. And that's very important. And throughout our days in our life, you will run through and across many people who are fragmented, emotionally, spiritually, physically, and that fragmentation manifests. So it's very important for people to learn to live from the inside out, the whole being. In one of the manifestation of fragmented being is in how we define each other. You were talking about a course you're taking in which even uh, in certain communities in male, maleness has actually been fragmented. And so, do you want to tell us about what you learned from that course about some community around the world?
Yeah, no, that'd be great, Daniel. As you know, I want to prevent and reduce the impact of adverse childhood experiences. So I've been doing a lot of study on that. How do you do that? And it's a complicated issue, right? But at the core of it is, for men, anyways, the most of the domestic violence that occurs, and thus the adverse childhood experiences that kids witness, comes at a man beating or raping a woman or child. That's how it is. And basically, that man has suffering that he has no other way to express it except for using his fists. And how did that happen? It happened because that man was taught very similar to what I was taught when I was a boy, that boys or men are never ask for help. They're tough. They're strong. They never ask for help. They never cry. They take what they want, and you're never going to admit that
They
you're
don't
weak.
feel. Mhm.
They don't feel. Exactly. So we're feeling beings, and we're cutting off the feeling part because we say, oh no, for us to fit in this man box, we can't have these feelings. We can't be, we can't cry. That, like, cry in public. I mean, that would be disgraceful. But and I used to think that, but I don't anymore.
Yeah,
Do you know who David Irvin is? Did we talk about David before?
I don't know. Probably.
He's an authentic leadership type coach. He's a guy who helps people find their ikigai,
Yeah,
their purpose, their mission in life. He's really, really good.
yeah,
But when he was a young boy, his first day for school, he took dolls into school with him. And his classmates and the teacher ridiculed him and teased him and that kind of a thing. He was a very caring, sensitive boy who, connected with these dolls, not with trucks, not with horses, or with dolls, right? And so that was it. He packed those dolls away and left them there for 30 years, right? And
yeah,
he was ashamed that he was not accepted, right? So right away the walls go up, the ego goes up. I can't tell anybody that I like dolls. I can't, express that I enjoy this type of activity, because that's not what a man does, right?
yeah.
So I think the whole man box is something that really hurts men from having their best lives and for being the best people they can be, especially for the women in their lives.
Hmm. So what's the solution? What's the way out of this?
Well, I think part of it is just an awareness, right? As an awareness that you've been like men who have been taught that, as I was, that they've been taught bad stuff, right? They've been taught incorrectly. That's not the way it works, right? Our between men and women, we're pretty close to the same. There's different variations. Men act the way men act because they don't think they can access emotions, right? They don't think they can be emotional or have those kind of experiences. And so they shut off that part of their being. But if we are feeling beings that can think, well, then we can also think of a better model that allows us to be better peoples.
That's so important, in the sense that a whole man, a full, that to be a whole man, I need to live, and I'm a thinking being, I'm feeling being, and that's important. And I think that's one of the message that is important for people to know, that we have been conditioned and socialized into certain aspect and ways of thinking that actually contribute to fragmentation.
Mm-hmm.
And the cost of fragmentation is very expensive, because, as you said, it can manifest in violence. And
Yes.
and that's sad. I wonder if that is affecting the rate of marriage today. That's a very, very important contribution. I'm looking forward to you sharing a little bit more about the full breadth of this this course that you're taking. That's exciting.
Yeah. Daniel, my bride walked in here. Do you have something to share, honey?
Yeah, I was going to say something on Facebook, but my phone died.
Okay, come on over here.
No, I'm not coming on. I've been outside all
Here,
day.
you can use the microphone.
No, it's okay.
Okay. She doesn't want to she just come in from messing with the horses, so her hair isn't all pretty. But what do you want to tell me, honey?
Daniel was asking what some of the solutions are. One is we got to accept that there's a certain amount of people who are highly sensitive, male and female.
Ah.
The males are not accepted for being sensitive people.
Okay.
So we need to, our society needs to accept the people who are sensitive in society, because they're a necessary part of society. They're the ones who scout out danger and find opportunities and stuff, right? But
okay, I'm going to relay this to Daniel.
I'm just listening to a thing. They say 30% of the population is highly sensitive.
Okay.
70% isn't.
Got it. Corolla is just saying that 30% of the population is deemed that they're extra sensitive, more HSP. Highly sensitive people. And so basically what you're saying is you have to acknowledge and allow for that. Allow people to be.
Men are not allowed to be sensitive.
Men are not allowed to be sensitive.
They bring their dolls to school.
Right.
They're not allowed to have that sensitivity, right? And so then they get angry because
Yeah.
they can't be who they are.
Yes. So she's saying that men then get angry if they can't be who they are. If they're denied to be who they truly are, then that creates anger within them.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. This woman should be talking.
I know. This woman should be talking. She's standing here talking to me to relay it to you. How about you
give her
come
a
over here?
microphone? That's so good. That's what this is all about. It's about.
What's the anger is what when they show the anger.
Yes.
Then people accept them, right? When they show their sensitivity, people then accept them, especially boys. Right?
Oh.
When they show the anger, oh, now you're a man.
Right. Her other point is that when a boy does show anger as opposed to their emotion, because they don't think they can show the emotion, but when they show the anger, then they're applauded by their other boys. Say, yeah, now you're a man. Now you're acting like a man, right? That's your point.
Wow.
Hey, she's pretty damn insightful, eh?
That is very, very insightful. So where there is a depletion of emotion, when we tell or educate them men not to feel, in essence, what we are telling them, we are preparing them to be anger bags, to be angry. We are telling them, we're not letting them express themselves. That's so powerful.
I think so too.
Because we have a loss of angry people around.
Especially the sensitive ones Corolla's at. And further to that, if you think about it as well, that would also lead to fear, right? If I'm a very sensitive person, but I don't want to express my sensitivity because somebody will laugh or call me names or something, well, then I'm also fearful too, right? And so fearful is also.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's a survival, so you react or fight or flight, right?
Mm,
I
right.
think so. You really, really, that's a very good point. Well,
It
thank you.
is.
Well,
Well
next
done, honey.
yeah. Huh?
Thank you. One day when I look prettier, I'll come on.
One night.
She'll prepare herself next time, she said. So she'll get all
Yeah,
purdied up and yeah.
yeah. I'm not pretty it up, right? Look at me. I have this thing on my cheek,
Corolla
belly.
joining us would be a big increase for the beauty factor here. I got to say, Daniel, no
Huh?
offense, but
What? What did you say?
I'm saying if Corolla joined us too, then we'd increase the beauty factor in this
Now you're talking.
presentation.
Now you're talking. Now you're talking. Indeed, indeed, indeed. That's good. Well done. So, so I think if people can learn how to be present, and to be and to feel normally, what will happen is that we will be present in the world in ways that are healthy and helpful.
Mm-hmm.
So the more we work on ourselves to better our thinking, to better the way we feel, so maybe to be present in our feeling, and the more we learn and increase discipline in that, I think we make the world a safer place to be.
Yes.
And
Well, especially Daniel, safer for those that are especially more sensitive. If we're more welcoming of them, if we're more accepting of them, if we have empathy for them, they're allowed to be their person, be their authentic, real person, right?
mhm, so important, and that it is because yeah, that's I love that word authenticity, to live and to do from authenticity, and that's so powerful, something we need even more, especially in today's world, in today, in our society, to be authentic, and to not fake our presence, but to be fully here and there, and to do out of who we be. And I think that's so powerful, and that way of being authentic, it reduces the level of anxiety in the world,
Mm-hmm.
because the world is way too anxious,
Definitely.
and too many guns have been fired, and that caused much anxiety. Too many hands and voices have been raised, it causing so much anxiety. I think we need to again become integral. That means to speak from fullness, from wholeness, and be present in ways that we are truly meant to be. You see?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Back to my friend David there, when he was talking about taking his dolls to school, I asked him the question. I said, David, what do you think would have happened if when you got to school there, your teacher said, David, this is amazing. You're such an incredibly sensitive, caring young man. And look at you and your dolls. What an example you are for the rest of your classmates. That
yeah,
would have changed his life. He would have been like a Jim Henson guy with puppets or something, right? Like, you know what I mean? That should have been what his calling is. He's really good at the authentic leadership stuff, but
yeah,
you know what I mean? So,
yeah. And there is a story that he lived to tell,
yes,
but many never do,
no,
and they end up really, it's like they're trumped over, and that is very, very, very sad.
yeah, very
And
much so.
yeah, so that's really good. And so those are a lot of things. That's a lot of things we just unpack here. I do want to say also, on the other hand, when it comes to you talk about the ACE, it's like I wonder if maybe one day we should talk about parenting. You see,
Sure.
because because
Do you agree, Daniel? Parenting is hard work. Like nobody gets it right. It's a hard job to do.
I can tell you that's a very, very hard job, parenting. And anybody who offer themselves to parents or to adopt somebody, I would say, wow, good on you. Though that's so good. But again, because the role of parenting in our society, and I can't stress that enough. And I wish our governments and our civic leader will invest more in that discipline, because there's something about being present in the life of the kids.
Mm-hmm.
So and how do we reduce anxiety so that parents can be present in the life of their children in ways that does not destabilize them, in a way that doesn't diminish them or shrink them, but in ways that affirm them, the best version of themselves, and in ways that nurture them to be both to be present physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, as I said. And that's quite important. And I think sometimes we need to just talk a lot about parenting, because for lots of people, parenting is left to the teachers.
Yes. And sometimes the parents and the teachers have an antagonistic relationship, right? The teachers, if they express that the child needs some help, the parents sometimes, because they're stressed out, blame the teacher. Well, do it. It's your job, right? But that's not how it works, right?
So important, and it's very easy to be to live that life, become antagonistic with your teacher, and not only that, with all the social teachers around you. We only have 1 minute left, so you better really give something smart. Say something so smart.
I got it.
Go for it.
If you listeners, if you want to get your marriage perfect, I know this guy that's written this book. It's called The All for Nothing Marriage. I think Daniel can connect you with a copy of that book. It's an amazing book. It'll help your marriage. So that's my important tip for today.
And thank you so much. And more is coming, and there's many more coming, because I think, like, in the next decade, I think more of us are going to shine.
Yes.
I think out of this COVID, something so powerful, wonderful is going to come.
I agree entirely. And you know what else? I interrupted you. Go ahead. What were you saying?
No, go for it.
Okay, here's what I'm thinking. Before COVID, we would go and we would pay whatever, $100, $200 to go watch somebody sing or play the guitar or dance or do whatever talents that they have. Now, with the reality of our world now, I'm going to suggest there's going to be a whole bunch more of amateur performers that they're doing it just for their own satisfaction. They're doing it because it feels good for them. They're doing it because it builds them and makes them stronger and allows them to be authentic.
Preach it. Now you are inspiring. Come on. That's so good, Alan. And I just want to say thank you. It looked like Jesse's feeling better. It's so good he even called me, and I missed a call, and I think it's from him. But I just want to say thank you. That's really, 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 really good conversation. And I can't wait for next week. Maybe we'll talk. We'll add to this. And who knows? It may be in a different platform, but we will be here next week.
That sounds good, my friend. I appreciate you, my Bushman.
I appreciate you more. See you soon.
All right.
Okay. Bye.
All right. That was fun, like usual, my friend.
But I wanted your wife to speak more.
I know, but she didn't want to come in front of the camera. I was trying to get her to come over.